Hey, hi, hello, welcome back to my channel, and hey, what's up if you're new here? My name is Katie, and today I'm going to show you how I do my hair on, I guess I want to call it an everyday basis, but we'll call it my go-to hairstyle, and I just kind of wanted to take you from start to finish. And if you are into doing your hair, if you like hair tutorials, this one's for you. All right, a little background. So it is a Monday, so I'm getting ready for work, and I washed my hair yesterday afternoon. So typically I wash my hair once a week, and I usually do it on Saturdays, but Saturday we just got really busy and I didn't want to wash it. By the time I could wash it, it was kind of late, and there's no way I wanted to go to bed with wet hair, all that. So I waited until yesterday afternoon, but even by the time I went to bed, it was still a little damp. So that's, I think, what's causing the extra little wave in my hair. But this is my natural hair, and I almost always let it air dry. I will blow dry it every now and then if I need it to be dried quickly, or if I'm trying to style it a certain way, I'll take time to blow dry it. Wash my hair, I let it air dry, and the only products I really use after washing, I use a root booster by, what is it called? Bondi Boost? Yeah, it's like a root spray to help with like regrowth, because I've always had just like this little spot that's a little more thin, and I don't notice it as much these days because that's not gonna work well. I do typically wear a center part, or sometimes it leans a little more to the side, but it typically covers up that thinning area. So I feel like on a typical week, I would actually wash my hair Saturday, and then on Sunday morning when I'm getting ready for church, that's when I would go through and do the step I'm going to show you today, so that by now on Monday, getting ready for work, I wouldn't have to take as long to do my hair, because I'm all about trying to save time in the morning so that I can kind of take it a little more slowly and not be rushed. I have the technique down, the routine is down pretty well, so I figured I could just take the time to show you. So I'm just brushing it out. I wanted to show you like the back of my head, because I think I've always had a little bit of wave in my hair. But ever since having my daughter, it's been a while now since having her, but ever since that pregnancy, I have gotten, I feel like my hair has gotten thicker in this area, like all right here. And this wave has just like intensified. So when I go to curl my hair most days, I feel like it looks nice up here, because I usually curl from like here down. But then back here, I just have this big old wave that does not match the pattern or the texture of the rest of the curls. So what I like to do, I don't do it all the time, but I like to take my straightener and just kind of run my straightener over these parts on top here. So we're gonna do that, but before any heat, I'm going to use my Hot Toddy Heat Protectant Mist. I've shared this in the past. I like the mist feature. I feel like it distributes really well over my strands, and it's not like, it doesn't get all like thick and crunchy, which is really great. And I do like the scent of it. I'm able to get the coconut colada scent. So with this, I'm going to focus on applying it to up front here, like my mids and ends, because that's where I'm putting my heat. And I'm going to hold it far enough away. If I get it too close, it's going to get built up and just like create this like thick layer that I don't necessarily want. That's something I had to learn, because I used to like hold it like this. So do your best to coat your strands. I mean, you could be a little more strategic about that. I call that good. And then I'm gonna just take a chunk of hair up here on my crown, because I am gonna be applying that straightener, and then my bangs too, mostly at the ends. Wherever I'm applying heat, we want to protect our hair. We want to brush it out, and we want that to have some time to set. So what I'm doing, I'm just gonna grab some thin layers of hair, and I'm just gonna focus my straightener, and I use a straightener by Chi. This one is, I don't know, I could look up the model. I've had this forever, and it's just been my go-to straightener ever since I got my hair done, starting way back in like middle school. I remember at my salon, she would use this straightener, so then I ended up just buying this one, and then it's a repeat purchase, right? I haven't had this straightener since middle school, but the only straightener I've ever purchased or repurchased was a Chi. If you care or not, I don't frequent the hair salon. I get my hair trimmed like once a year, twice at most. And not to say that won't ever change, right? Like, but for this season in my life, I wear my hair down. I wear it pretty much the same way. And I've found that I just like having long hair because I feel like I can do more with it. And for me personally, it's just easier to style long hair because I feel like if I had a short hairstyle or like a specific hairstyle, I feel like I would have to style it way more frequently in order to keep up with the style, if that makes sense. Because like if I had bangs, which I've debated many times, I think I would have to, take the time to style them a certain way. Otherwise, they'd probably annoy me. But anyways, I just don't, in this season of my life, keep up with haircuts. And I don't color my hair. I think I stopped coloring my hair probably like 7 years ago now, and I used to just get like some blonde. I like doing some like face frame, some blonde up in front here to kind of create a little bit of dimension. Gone are those days, but like I said, it could always change where I get into a mood of I want something different. But for now, this is my completely natural hair color. You can still see that wave. So I love trying to embrace that wave in my hair by I'll do like French braids. I'll sleep with braids in my hair so that I have like a wavy crimp. That's a style that I love doing just because it ties in the wave better instead of trying to straighten it out. Okay, and real life moment here. I'm running short on time. So I'm not gonna act like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take all this time to really flatten it out back there. Because look, it's gonna be wavy still. I can feel the wave, but I'm just gonna stop there because being on time is more important. I actually saw this picture. I think it was with my sister. We were at Home Goods. Maybe I'll put it up on the screen. But it was like just a funny like picture you could hang up in like your room or whatever. And it was like a news article, and it said, "Better late than ugly." I'm like, oh my gosh. Now I don't even think I've mentioned up until this point that I curl my hair as my go-to style. I use this bedhead curling wand. This is the curling iron that I've just gotten used to over the years. I've tried out a different iron, like one with a clamp, but I just didn't take the time to get the technique down. So I've always just had this one. And until it busts, we're gonna use it. So with my curls, I like to grab a piece of hair, and my hair is long, so it's hard for me to fit. If I were to start way up at my roots, it would be hard to get all of the hair onto my iron. But I found that I like aiming like right around my ear and down to have my curl. I probably let it sit on there for 20-ish seconds, and then I drop it. I leave a little bit out at the ends, as you can see, and then I curl all of my pieces going away from my face for my go-to style. There's days if like it's a special event or I'm just wanting to take more time, I might go every other just to create a little more volume. And then also there's days if I really wanted, I would do like 2 layers. I would do a bottom layer and a top layer to really get a certain look. But for every day, I want it curled, but I also don't have a ton of time. I usually take more time to do my makeup. I didn't put it on long enough. We're gonna redo that one. Then I think what I'll do, I'll show you how I usually will curl like my face framing pieces, and then I'll check back in, I think at the end. Because this is pretty much the technique, I just go around, kind of push it to the back so that it can cool. And then I usually let it completely cool. I go upstairs, I get ready, or like I change my outfit, brush my teeth, all that stuff. And then before I leave is when I'll take my brush and just kind of brush through the ends so that the curls aren't as structured. It turns into more of like a long wave. And I like taking the time to curl it at the start of the week. The curls will typically hold, or the waves will typically hold at least for a few days, a couple days, and then I can retouch them, or other days in the week I might just have my hair half up, low bun. I feel like I typically try on a Monday, and then as the week progresses, I just take less and less time on my hair, especially in the winter time with it being cold, windy, and if it's like snowy out, it can ruin a good hairstyle, so it's not always worth it to do the hair. All right, the last part I wanted to show you, my face framing just kind of looks like that. It's just a smaller piece, and I don't want to think about it too much because when I do, I feel like it always turns out differently than it usually does. But I usually start where it lines up with my eyebrow. I try and keep it flat on the iron. I don't hold it on too long, and then that's what the curl will look like, or the wave. And then I might touch it up at the end if I feel like it's not curled enough. All right, so that's what the hair is looking like. I'm going to check back in either once I'm all done down here, or maybe I'll just check back in when I'm about to just kind of brush it out to show you the final look. So this is how my hair pretty much looks after it's curled. I just take a brush and I just kind of gently brush out the ends, get rid of tangles too. You see how brushing it out, it just creates this longer like wave, makes it a little less structured, a little more fun. I just wanted to end this by saying thank you so much for watching. I've had a lot of fun over the years filming different aspects of my life, and I just feel like I always come back to my passions that are all about hair, makeup, fashion. I like to share about my faith too, other lifestyle related content, fitness, lots of things. So moving forward, I'm just going to continue to do a variety of those things. If there are certain videos or themes, topics, whatever you'd like me to cover, leave me a comment. I'm definitely open to considering filming about those things too. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, guys. I'll see you in my next one.